Go.
What? We didn't discuss that. You just said I was
I said
next.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but you said.
We're leaving this one in because this is gonna be good banter.
Oh my god.
You're not gonna introduce your show?
All right, this is Justin Jackson, host of the Justin Time Sports Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and also the owner and proprietor, for lack of a better term, of Justin Time Sports social media on, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, Instagram, X, Threads, The Stunt, pretty much all your favorite social medias. We are all over, and I'm here with my friend Jai.
Yeah. I'm the friend. I'm Jai. And what this is Just in Time Sports After Dark. Right? So season 5 of Just in Time Sports, Justin brought me in to, really ramp up season 5 as we have a video. We're giving you some video content of Just in Time Sports in the heat of free agency. That's why my man keeps darting over to the left, because you never know whenever you can get a jack blast. That's what we're gonna call it. So we're gonna call it breaking news.
That has not been approved, but we'll go with it.
Nah, bro, it's a jack blast. You're just gonna spread your news everywhere. So
I'm not anti the idea, but
this is a rated PG-13 show.
Just go ahead and get prepared for it.
Nah, facts. We're not gonna be as horny and freaky as Nightcap, but just as fun. So, Jackie.
All right, so our first topic today, as you see on the bottom of the screen, is our combine takeaways. Now, this is going to be a quick hitter. As you guys know in the audio show, my A block's usually my long block. However, on the video show, we're going to try and do it kind of in reverse, where our A block's kind of our opening hitter. So for the NFL Combine, of course, you guys know that the big news was Xavier Worthy breaking the 8-year-old record, 8 or 9 years old. John Ross got long ago.
Man, what a time to be there for the John Ross days.
The John Ross era. My God, that man changed Madden.
He went from probably a day 3 pick to a top 10 pick.
He was going to be a 4th round pick. Like, I can guarantee you, almost with everything that I do, he was a 4th round pick. Like, no one, I never even heard of John Ross
until he ran the 40.
Until he ran the 4.22, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, John Ross!" That man changed Madden. Like, he changed the way Madden was built because you had to start trading for fast receivers.
Right.
But Xavier Worthy of Texas burns a 4.21, officially breaking the record. His cleats and jersey are now in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him. If he never makes it, which update he won't.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. He was one of my sleeper wide receivers. We'll get into draft stuff.
We'll get into draft stuff later in life.
Yeah.
But he's not. Like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. He's just not, right? But his cleats and little jersey thing he wore are officially in the Hall of Fame. So he can always go tell his kids, "Hey, at least my cleats made it." And
that's weird.
Yeah. So at least they got in. But yeah, so the good thing about him, though, I do like about him, just in general, his speed shows up on tape. Like, John Ross speed,
it never translated to
football. It never made sense. Yeah.
You can't find me one clip of John Ross beating somebody off the line or
running past
Tyreek Hill. Like, if you look at like a Tyreek Hill, like a Jalen Waddle, like whenever you see them, if they ran a 4.2, you'd be like, yeah, they run a 4.2.
They run a 4.2.
like you can see them, they do it with pads on. John Ross, Tyquan Thornton, guys like that. Some of those guys
are just run, dog.
Another combine kind of hero from this past weekend, A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy's teammate. He ran a 4.35. He is
not
his
size.
He's not 4.35 fast on the field.
No. I actually would have projected he ran like a 4.42, 4.43. I would have never guessed.
I had him in a 4.45.
Like,
he's a good player, a good route runner, good hands catcher. So, like, for like the jump ball specialist, I look at you like if you catch with your hands rather than like you catch it with your body.
Your chest. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did himself some service running that 4.35, but he's not that fast.
Yeah, he's not that fast. The receivers really had the best day, which the combine's built for receivers.
The combine's built for receivers, and I would say the receivers, linebackers, those kind of
corners, stuff where like your athletic ability
can make up for you not being a great football player. It can get you from day 3 to day 2.
Yeah,
I
like
don't think
no
it's
one
been.
cares that Joe Alt benched 225 23 times. Like no one's gonna like that doesn't matter to literally anybody.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter that Blake Corum did it either. Everybody knew he was short and strong. All he did was prove that you were short and strong. Like it didn't do anything.
yeah. I
Um,
don't care how much my running back benches.
I could care less. Like they got that weird quarterback power thing now where they throw the ball into like a pad and see how
No,
fast it
brother, that
goes.
was so fucking stupid. Cause it's like,
like,
what are we
like
doing? Like, what are we doing here?
when are you ever going to need to fire a football 60 mile an hour? Like, that's
60 miles an
never.
hour, but and then they're like 5 feet away.
Yeah, they're like from me to
Everybody
my.
that had a high one, they be throwing the ball soft as baby shit. Yeah, I'm looking at you,
Except for Joe
bro.
Milton. Except for Joe Milton. Joe Milton, that
Joe Milton is the
that's
most.
probably his normal throw.
Joe Milton is the most intriguing yet overrated player that's talked about ever right now.
Joe Milton is that quarterback. You know, like every year there's a quarterback that like half the side are like, my God, if he finds the right coach, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And then the other side is like he's going to be a very strong UPS worker.
Jacob Eason.
Like, yeah, like Eason that year. I love him to death, but people were saying that way about Carson Wentz. Like, they're like he's going to be amazing.
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had the benefit of good coaching.
He had Doug Peterson.
He had the
right?
piece of the puzzle. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen was that player. Like either he's going to be amazing or he's going to be a 6'5" Amazon worker.
Like, I don't even think that Joe Milton has that.
I think Milton's ceiling is quality starter.
No, I don't see him starting for a team.
Honestly, I don't see the difference in him and Anthony Richardson. But I'm not that high on Anthony Richardson.
True.
So,
Anthony Richardson should have made you a believer in their preseason. Because I wasn't high on him either. Because they was like, oh my gosh, he had a 40-inch vertical. I'm like,
when is he ever going to use that?
You gonna do a jump pass? Like,
that's never going to be useful.
That's never gonna come in handy. But nah, I think that I think he's just cool. Like, he's big. He has a big arm. He's a black quarterback, so people just gonna assume that he's fast. So
he can run a little bit, but it's not. It's not near. It's nowhere near especially.
That's the thing. And pause for the cause. Why do we always do that? Like, we just assume. Like, even in like casual conversation, I think we was talking about like Geno Smith. It was like, yeah, because he can run. But then I was like, I've never seen Geno Smith.
I've never seen Geno Smith run a day in my life.
I've never seen him run. Like,
that man don't run.
But no, I think some of the other players that kind of helped themselves out. Lab McConkey. It might be just because I'm a Patriots fan. Something about a
he looks a lot like our normal Patriots.
Look, man. But no, like he clocked a very good 40 time. He ran the gauntlet the best. Watching his tape,
he looked smooth in the gauntlet.
He was everything that you see on tape.
McConkey made me a believer the game he got hurt. Because Georgia was such a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Like for 2.5 years, they were fairly unthreatened. Like it wasn't like they weren't losing. Like they were beating in conference opponents by 30. Like
right.
And then him and Bowers is on one leg, and Georgia's offense can't do anything. Like they don't move at certain drives. And it's like, how good is that kid? The fact that Georgia, this juggernaut, you're in the game, but you're on one leg and they can't move. Like,
right.
Who they playing in the title game? Bama. Like Bama's a good team, but we saw what Michigan did to Bama. Like at a certain point, Michigan just said, "All right, we're gonna run the ball." Like,
yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Like this whole McCarthy thing was cute. Like, here, Blake Corum, run the ball. Like,
J.J. McCarthy is another one to where I'm just like he's
Josh Rosen.
He's Mac Jones. He's Mac Jones, and
he's Josh Rosen. He's that guy.
Josh Rosen. I was high with J.J. McCarthy for a while too. Why do I like those guys? Sam Bradford.
It made sense. They're big. They're tall. They don't have the world's best arm, but they're accurate and they're above average athletic.
Throws. They command the room.
It makes perfect sense. And then you see them next to actual NFL starting quarterbacks, and you'd be like, "Oh,
you don't look like an athlete. You don't look like an athlete." Like
in college, your little 15-yard scramble and slide before that linebacker catch you works.
It's almost like I would say kind of like Johnny Manziel. He's like a more in control. He's Johnny Manziel without the pop. You know how Johnny Manziel was in
Literally.
college. He was scrambling around. He was slim. He had all the moxie.
I
He
I'll
can
never
make
forget
it.
losing the ball, finding it in the air, throwing a touchdown against Bama at the same
Yeah,
time.
so it's like he that's what I get from JJ McCarthy. They're gonna win. You can win some games with him, but he's never gonna be. If you like Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins, if you
Nothing wrong with Brock
like
Purdy.
if you like those guys, if you like who's another the game manager. He's a game manager. You're not about to Tua, like no matter how much you advocate for these guys, you're not about to get a game manager. There are
At the
only
end of the
three
day,
there are three certified game changing quarterbacks,
3.
two possibles. I'm talking about in the draft, coming up in the draft.
Okay.
Three
Run it
game
back.
changers, two possibles.
What
Everybody
are
else is a
possibles?
game manager.
I mean,
Spencer
seriously,
Rattler,
like
Spencer Rattler,
I'm
and
starting
Michael
to
Penix.
lean that way.
Spencer Rattler and Michael Penix.
Okay.
Everybody else
I'm
is a
with that.
game
Everybody else is
manager.
a game manager,
Everybody else is a game manager, and then of course you got the big three:
which is Daniel. Oh, okay.
Daniel Williams and May. Even though you
That threw
hate
me
Drake,
off for a second.
even though
I don't hate Drake May. I feel like if I slander him enough, the pages won't pick him. I know I have no pull at all in the building.
no, but like here's the thing though: if you slander him enough, people have been slandering him, I think you're not the only one with that approach. People have been slandering him, and now if the Patriots don't pick him, if Daniel's off the board and the Patriots don't pick him, they're gonna panic. And I swear to God, if we trade back or we draft Marvin Harrison, like that dumbass Boston accent, I'm sorry if they get you in trouble with your Boston viewers, but like, come on, dog, it's an R. It's an R in there.
I mean,
Y'all can use the R for something else out there in Boston, but I ain't gonna take it.
I got some Boston friends. I got some Boston fans. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all my fans in the Northeast. I mean, but y'all know how y'all are. The Bill Russell story speaks for itself. I'm just being honest. I just life. I love y'all teams, except for the Red Sox. Can't stand them. But
let's get into the draft talk though, since we kind of opened the door to it.
All right. So of course NFL draft's coming up late April. I do not have the dates in my head. I know I should, but I don't. Side note, before we get into that, do you like the fact that they're moving the draft around?
What do you mean?
Kind of how they do the Super Bowl? Like the different cities every year.
Yeah. I think it's a great I think it's great just like as a fan because it's kind of like it's part of like just the fan experience, kind of like All-Star Weekend or something like that. Like everybody can't afford a LA, like even though All-Star Weekend
New York trip
was like boring as shit this year.
Yeah, not great.
I think that it's good to just give people that experience. Like what the draft last year was in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. City.
Was it in Nashville? No, that was a couple years ago. It was in Nashville.
No, last year it was in Nashville because Will Levis was there and his people was walking around. It was in Nashville. Yeah, so like that's a cool little, like
I think it's in Vegas this year.
Of course, everything is Vegas this year.
No, it was supposed to be in Vegas the year COVID hit, and like all the design and stuff they had was insane. And they were gonna take the prospects from one stage, put them on a boat, and like boat them to another stage. It was gonna be insane. But then COVID hit, so of course they shut everything down.
I like how they was just like, yeah, we're gonna use the Caleb Williams year for the Vegas one.
Very, very conveniently, right?
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, the NFL draft's coming up.
Yeah. Back to this conversation that was having. Something about the draft. Oh yeah, they was moving the draft around.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So we're Patriots fans, so we look at the draft a little bit through the Patriots' eyes. But in terms of how you think like the top 3 is the most important thing right now, and somebody looking to move up. So of course, my top 3. I'm gonna be honest. I'm biased. I don't care. I wanted to go Caleb, Drake, and then Jaden. So Caleb Williams out of USC to Chicago, Drake May of UNC to Washington, and Jaden Daniels of LSU to New England. That's how I wanted to go. Do I think it's going to go that way? I'm getting the strange feeling that it's not. Mainly the strange feeling. Mainly because Washington made a move today that was interesting.
Yeah.
We're getting a second. Right. But they made a move that kind of tilted my thoughts toward the situation. Where I think Jaden may end up going to. But a team I would keep an eye on to move up right now is the Raiders. They're spending a lot of free agent dollars. You look at what they did just in general. So I would look. We'll talk about them later. But looking at the Raiders to move up to see if they can get a quarterback, especially if for some reason if Marvin Harrison ends up in the top three.
Which I think that is trending that way.
I think Marvin Harrison might end up going one.
Exactly. Because, like, honestly, if you the Bears, what more can draft capital get you at this point? You need players.
You
You
need
need,
people.
you
You
need,
need
yeah,
dogs.
you need people that you know can play at this point. So I think that Marvin Harrison might end up going one, but that's kind of like a dark horse. But honestly, I think that they'll end up just offloading Fields. If I'm the Vikings, or if I'm the Raiders, because what the Raiders have, what, 13?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
If I'm the Raiders, I still try to make a push for Fields. Just because he worked well with Luke Getsy. Antonio Pierce came from Arizona, where he did work with Jaden Daniels. So that mobile style quarterback, somebody with a big arm. Gardner Minshew isn't the answer, and so you're
You're
too
not
far
gonna
back.
you're not
You're
gonna
too
find a
far
better
back.
quarterback
Yeah.
at 13 than Fields. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
regardless of what you think about him as a player, you're not gonna find him better. Like, so that's why I'm surprised that the Patriots moved out Mac Jones so early. But I guess they just really wanted to establish, like, hey, this is what we're doing.
this is a new regime. I mean, it's like anything else. When the new bosses come in, they start cutting the fat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you got the number 3 pick. It's one of those things where it's kind of the same with Chicago. Chicago can't draft Caleb Williams and Justin Fields on their roster. Like they just can't. Like there's
You know who my
nothing.
move up team is though?
Who?
I got two. I got two.
Okay.
So I think that our Patriots might actually jump up to one
Just to be safe.
just to be safe. But if they jump up to one, that means that I think that they like Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels.
And
But
not,
I
you know,
think that Caleb Williams has became my QB3 over everything. But
the more I've watched it, he's become my 2. I
he's
think I
become.
think Daniels is my 1.
I take ceiling into account, but Daniels is also my one. Even though I like Drake May better, just that style of quarterback, Daniels is also my one because I think he's going to come in like CJ Stroud. He's going to come in a combination of being pro ready while at the same time being dynamic. So most of
Right.
the time, whenever they say the pro ready player comes in, they're very, you know, game manager.
Boring. They're very
Yeah,
boring.
yeah. And I don't think this is going to be the case for Jaden. I think Jaden's going to come in being very dynamic. So, but I think that we might have opportunity to move up to one. But let's say we don't. I think that number 5 spot for the Chargers is a very pivotal spot
That's a
because
movable spot.
what it is. I'm gonna tell you right now, regardless of who's picking them, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is gonna be the big three quarterbacks and Marvin Harrison Jr.
In some
That's
shape, form,
that.
or fashion.
That Joe Alt's not going. Malik Neighbors isn't going. Romaduz isn't going. There's no good enough defensive player to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Turner is probably the best defensive player, and he's not. Probably Atlanta is probably his spot.
As it should be. Although I kind of like Jared Verse too,
I'm
um,
not opposed to verse.
but yeah. So those four, who I don't know who's going to draft at those four, but
But
those
those
four,
are the 4 picks.
those are the four. Those are the first 4 picks. The draft doesn't start till 5, and
To
at
be
number
honest, it's
five,
unfair. It's the Chargers
granted, everybody's like, "Oh, the Chargers, they have all this talent and stuff." Those people are old and they are
and
cap
expensive.
heavy, and they are trying to move off of them. You got a brand new coach, a brand new GM. Justin Herbert is still young, but he's not on that rookie deal anymore. So guess what? You're gonna have to get him players through the draft. That Charger spot, I would say if anybody is looking at a JJ McCarthy who's rising up to that board, even though I think he's gonna be there at like 12, but let's say you do want to take the chance to go get a JJ McCarthy, or you love Malik Neighbors,
Or you, or you
or
just can't pass up on that left tackle. I mean,
I
tackles
mean,
are
which is true. It's
legit. Yeah,
which is true. That's a very important position. So I would say if you have any kind of established player, um, I would try to move up to that 5 spot. If you got any kind of surplus of picks, I'll try to move up to that 5 spot.
Because the Chargers are gonna have to hit on. They're gonna have to do what the Rams did, just for not. Just the Rams did it too because they didn't have any picks. The Chargers are gonna have to do it because they don't have money. Like they're gonna
They
have
don't
to
have
hit,
money
and they're paying money. Like they paid their guard like $51 million, something like that. Like they're gonna have to spend money. They're gonna have to spend draft capital to fill needs.
because Khalil Mack waited to
And
the last
Bosa.
year of his contract to do something. If it wasn't for Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa would be out the league. Joey Bosa has become the Thanasis of the NFL.
He's not the nicest. He's
Man,
like
man.
he's Seth Curry. Like
Okay, yeah. I give you Steph Curry.
like you see it. It don't work. Like
It just don't work.
Like I see what's supposed to be.
Because whenever I see Nick Bosa,
Like
John Bosa, that's the best defensive player in the league when I look at him sometimes. So I ain't gonna lie.
You be like, yeah, I see it. And then you see Joey, you be like,
Y'all not in the same family.
yeah, y'all not related.
He don't have that. You know what? Joey don't have that January 6th energy. That's why. That's what it is.
Joey don't have that TJ Watt energy. Like, yeah, big bro nice, but I gotta go to work.
TJ Watt made it a conversation.
TJ
With the Bosas, it's not a conversation.
It's a
legitimate
conversation
with
TJ and JJ. Like,
with the Bosas, it's not a conversation.
I'll be forgetting they be related. They don't even look alike. Like physically, they don't even look alike.
They have so much different demeanors. If you ever just heard them like in interviews, stuff like that, it's so much different demeanors.
Like Nick looks like he hangs out with Trump.
He does.
He does, right? And Joey looks like he hang out with your uncle that drinks 40s. Like neither, like they don't go together. Like they just
Joey
like
one has a black girlfriend.
He got the scruffy mustache. He got the little patchy beard. Like
Joey definitely got like the Erica Badu chick. The who is Shorty? The Khalees. Joey Bosa definitely got him with Khalees and home that he just don't bring to the family functions.
Hey, Joey got a girlfriend that takes some Grand Rising every morning.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, bro.
But yeah, so I think that's kind of how that little bit's gonna shake up. I would say further down the draft is gonna be very interesting because at first I thought it's such a deep receiver class that it was just gonna always be there. But I think the mugs might start running off.
That's what happened last year. Remember last year they started running picks.
Yeah.
Sorry, my camera got dark. I was
Quinn Johnson.
Johnson started it, and then like it was like 4 receivers picked in a row.
Yeah.
So I was pulling up the draft order, which I was looking over here at my other screen.
And in the future episodes, we'll be able to have that stuff up on the screen. But
we'll have it up. Yeah.
But first game.
Stupid. But remember the Bears have 2 top 10 picks. The Bears pick at 9th.
They do, and I think they should use both of them.
I think they should use both as well. If I'm the Bears, how much do you love Penix? Or JJ McCarthy? But I'm saying, like, they could be they were the only person at Bo Nix's combine today. They were the only team at Bo Nix's workout.
I think they're doing the whole
we love everybody.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're either gonna try to drive up that they're gonna try to auction off that first rounder, that number 1 pick. But I think it's gonna end up being. I think it's just gonna end up being Marvin Harrison at 1 and a tackle
fill in from there.
A tackle at 9. I think that's just how.
If you're Chicago, do you try to come to 5 to get Joel? Because let's say you keep Fields, you get him a number 1 receiver or another top receiver.
Yeah. Come back and get Joel. And then you have picks.
And then you pick again at I'm looking at trying to see where their round 2 pick is. I don't see their round 2 pick early. Okay, so that might be a decision.
They traded the round 2 pick to
They did. They traded for Carolina to get Oh yeah, for Sweat.
Which paying dividends.
I'm saying worth it. And then they pick again at 75 in round 3. So they don't pick it all in round 2.
I
But
would
it
give
helped because they had 2 top 10 picks. So
going from 5 to 9 is very reasonable.
very reasonable. You can add in a 4th and probably a future 5th and go from 5 to 9. Especially if LA is not looking to, they're not sold on that pick because the pick is Joe Alt at 5 in theory, right?
Well,
But
see,
you already got a tackle.
You say Joe Alt. I say Brock Bowers. If LA stays.
If LA stays, you just lost Gerald Everett. So yeah, no. Now that's a good pick for Herbert.
That's a good pick. And then
and to be honest, looking at the order,
I'm thinking of Harborough. Harborough plays in between.
He does play inside the hashes, in between the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm looking at the order, if Bowers don't go to the Chargers,
he's not gonna go for a while.
He might not go for a minute. Yeah, like I mean,
he's gonna pull
Tennessee,
like a
but Tennessee needs more than a tight end.
Tennessee is probably gonna take Odunze.
The Jets are at 10. The Jets are at 10.
The Jets need blockers. The Jets. I want to tell you my Jets theory.
Okay.
I think the Jets make a move back in the first round for a quarterback.
I would not. That wouldn't shock me. Because to me, Rodgers plays 2 years. And so if you can get...
Well, he's running for VP. So...
Okay. I'm not... Okay. Okay.
What was that? Was it JFK Jr.?
It is JFK Jr.
Yeah, JFK Jr. He's running for VP.
Okay. So you're trying to get us canceled on the first show. That's your
yeah, we got to spice it
up. Okay. The person who hates politics and big pharma but plays for the heir of the Johnson family is not running for VP. Whatever. No, so because it makes sense. Rodgers plays 2 more years or go serves in the White House, and they're gonna need somebody to step in, team control contract. Even if he sits 2 years, he still got 3 years plus 2 tags, 5 years of team control before he has to go to true free agency. So that would make sense. I'm scrolling down this list. Does New Orleans do it for Bowers at 14?
New Orleans is such a weird team because if you look at them,
I hate how they operate.
If you look at them, they have everything together. But then whenever you watch them play,
none of it's together.
It's not together.
None of it's together.
And I don't think paying Derek Carr $35 million helped. So
No. He still has $100 million guaranteed reasons why he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so I don't think they're bad. You're not gonna get a running back. I mean, Bowers would be cool, but
Cincy at 18?
That's what I was thinking. But it looked like that they're gonna lose T. Higgins, and if I'm them, I want to replace that with probably a Brian Thomas or a Keon.
Brian Thomas, probably. Thomas is the same body type.
Right.
You literally take T. Higgins out of 5, put 11 on Brian Thomas. I don't care who was 11 for the Bengals. And same body type, 6'3", can run. Their biggest thing is I can run faster than you.
Thomas is more of a traditional wide receiver. Not traditional, but Higgins is more of a jump ball. Higgins is a jump ball specialist. That's like his thing. I think Thomas is more of a complete wide receiver. He has the highest upside for me right now. I mean, obviously outside of Marvin Harrison, because
Harrison could be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Harrison is just stamped, but all the other ones, they have glaring things that I'll worry about. Like Malik Neighbors, for instance, everybody's like he's the one. He's the number 1 route runner. He has great hands. He is open all the time in college.
Yeah, LSU's offense was insane.
And so I don't know if he's gonna be that open,
And he had a guy with Thomas that was running the safeties off because Thomas was running down the field.
And the freshman, I can't think of the freshman.
Number 2, Kyron Lacy.
Yeah, Lacy.
So they were just running the safeties off. So the whole middle of the field was just wide open.
Right, and so will that translate? Whenever people put hands on you in the NFL, are you going to be able to do that? Because he's kind of slight. Our friend Tramel, who will be on at some point, he's compared him to Jamar Chase. I can see the upside being Chase on the high end.
I can see the high end being Chase.
On the low end, I can see just a very quality player.
A guy that you look up and he has 900 yards and 8 touchdowns every year. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Well, so like that's definitely a good player. I'd say my perfect
Gabe
comp for him
Davis.
was no, I say Odell, but
Well, I mean, Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is name brand over stat. You look up Gabe Davis
Gabe
numbers, you're
Davis,
like,
Gabe Davis, and I hope you follow me here. Gabe Davis is the number 3 wide receiver of number 2 wide receivers, but
nice.
he's like the number 1 wide receiver of
Of the
like
number three
number
wide
3.
receivers.
Yeah, like
It's like if Gabe Davis is your second best receiver, you're looking for a second best receiver.
but if
If
he's your
Gabe Davis is your
third best
third best
receiver,
receiver,
you
oh,
have
your
the
core
best
nice.
third best receiver
Your
ever.
receiver core nice.
So it's like there's that. I think the draft is going to be very interesting. It was a little bit more set in stone before the free agency numbers started rolling off, and
Yeah, because them numbers been
now
rolling.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on in free agency in this off season. I say the first thing that stood out to me would be the Bills basically cutting
Destroying
everybody.
their roster. Yeah.
Was their cap situation that bad? They
Yeah,
really
they
got rid of
were.
their entire defense.
They entered free agency before they started doing anything $50 million over. The crazy part is when they cut everybody before Josh Allen renegotiated, they were still like $6 million over.
That's crazy.
Like I have, like that's like New Orleans level. I can't figure out how to work Twitter on a computer. This is painful, but that's like New Orleans level of cap mismanagement. I don't know how they. Okay, that's a lie. I know how they did it, but it's one of those things where it's like you just blatantly ignored common sense, for
I
lack of a
think
better
they
term.
signed
Like,
Josh Allen too fast
yeah,
because his extension kicked in earlier than it should have.
yeah, because I believe they went. I believe they did the method of getting rid of the 5th year option to extend off the 4th year
Yeah,
instead of keeping the 5th year option and extending off the 5th year.
right.
It would have gave you another year of team control.
And that number would have been lower. So instead of giving him 45 in the 5th year, he would have been playing for like 20 in the fifth
He was
year.
playing for like 26, yeah, in the
Yeah.
5th year. And then year 6, 7, and 8 goes to 40, 45, whatever it is. But you don't have to worry about year
Because they wanted to
5.
get him cheap. I think they wanted to get him cheaper because
And I think that was the situation. That they didn't want to pay him 55.
that was the 13-second year whenever they
That was
went up the Arrowhead. So at the time, it makes sense.
And they were looking like he was 13. He was one of the weirder moments in NFL history ever from potentially winning a Super Bowl. Like, so you get them early, you get them at 45 instead
Because
of
they would have
55.
played the Niners.
It would have been the Niners. Yeah. And they would have beat the Niners. I'm convinced they'd beat the Niners.
I don't know. Jimmy G was humming.
Yeah, but we see Jimmy G and Shanahan in big games. So
He should definitely get more. He should definitely get
more slander for that.
But other free agency big news. Saquon
Saquon
is the
stays in the
Eagle.
division. Stays in the division.
I think that was malpractice by 2 teams, the Giants and the Cowboys. One, if you're the
The Cowboys
Giants,
have been asleep the whole time.
why did the Giants not even offer him a contract?
Yeah,
What are they doing?
that's insane. I would have at least given 2 years for the tag number,
I
which
would have tried.
basically,
I would have tagged him
Philly gave
again.
him no,
You tagged him again.
which basically Philly gave him 3 years for the tag number. I think the tag number was like 11.3 million.
Yeah, because it went down, right?
Philly just gave him that 3 times.
I
And that's his contract.
But like, I would have tagged him regardless, so that way, even if we don't work nothing out,
I can trade
get
you.
something for him.
I mean, that's what the Bengals did.
And then you can't go.
Philly.
Well, I gotta play you twice to Philly, to the best team in the division.
Pissed off and try to blow me out. Like, no, I'm not doing that with myself.
Right. Now they gonna run a tush push with Saquon.
Oh, that's happening. Oh no, Jalen Hurts never run a tush push again. I hope he enjoyed that.
I hope he enjoyed them 15 touchdowns. Get out of
It
here.
does inflated stats. Most rushing touchdowns. They average 1.3 yards.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Derrick Henry's a Raven.
That was interesting, but I don't think that's gonna have the ramifications that people think.
That has the ability to be a bust situation.
And
And
honestly, I don't know what the Ravens are doing. Like
I don't
truly,
get the Ravens'
because
strategy.
it seems like the more that they wanted to get away from Greg Roman,
They do
the
more Greg
more
Roman
they
like move.
do Greg Roman stuff.
Like Greg Roman's got to be in the Chargers facility going, "What the fuck is this?"
Because they was like, oh, he runs the ball too much. We need to pass it more. But then you get into the AFC Championship game, and the takeaway is, why did you not run the ball more?
Then you go out in free agency and you
And you
spend
get a
money on the
running back.
biggest name running back in free agency. You know what you didn't do? Sign Gabe Davis.
And you know what? But honestly, I don't want to see them acquire any more wide receivers.
Because they don't use the ones they got.
They don't use them.
They don't use the ones they got.
What else happened? Danielle Hunter, the Texans.
Yo, the Texans getting Danielle Hunter.
And Joe Mixon.
Insane. Danielle Hunter is on the opposite side of Will Anderson. And now Joe Mixon is the running back for CJ Stroud. Like, kudos to the Texans.
I'm surprised that they didn't go after a receiver, though.
And they still have the Browns' first round pick. They still pick at like 20, 22.
Yeah. They can get one of those guys.
They can fly up. Like, the Texans don't need much. Because I was running it.
Dalton Schultz.
They kept Schultz. Think about it. All their best players, sans now Danielle Hunter, is on rookie contracts.
Yeah.
And Larry Tunsil.
Who they extended him last season. So
they extended him last season. Yeah. Derek Stingley, Tank Dell, CJ Stroud, Christian Harris, I believe is the linebacker name.
Yep.
They're all on rookie contracts.
Baton Rouge product.
Yeah, they're all on rookie contracts. So you can go spend $46 million guaranteed on DN for 2 years. Go get Joe Mixon. Like, I'm shocked they're not in the T. Higgins race. Like, if I'm them, I go, what's it gonna take?
I ain't gonna lie. They might be the only ones to drop a 1. Nobody's giving more than nobody. They might be the only ones I can think of that'll put a 1 on T. Higgins.
You know what I'm saying? A 1 and like a 6 and be like, run it. Let's do it. And then as soon as Higgins arrives, bag him up, and then you have a number one receiver. Yeah. Because you can do it 3 years, guaranteed big money. You don't have to pay CJ Stroud for another 4 years.
And then you can do it just like maybe.
And you can do the franchise tag method. It's really 6 years.
Right. So it's like, yeah. It's
okay. So let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. And
are we going down this dark hole?
No, not yet. Normally, I don't slander people who I believe are trying. Like, if you're not good at your job, but you're giving effort, I'll give you some pass. What I don't like is unpreparedness, right? I mean this with all sincerity and niceness that I have in my body. What in the hell are the Carolina Panthers doing?
I don't know. Brian Burns is a New York Giant for a 2nd and a 5th.
5. You turned down a 1, 2, and 4 like last year.
You could just kept them. Honestly, just make a play on the tag.
You just for all that was worth, you might as well. Like, you just turned down.
They didn't use any of their leverage. They traded him on the first day of free agency.
Bro, I would have sat there. I would have called Houston. Which one for him?
Houston would do. Somebody's giving me a 1. Somebody's giving you a 1 for Brian Burns.
And you gave him a 2 and a 5. Then we're Patriots fans. The Michael Winu signing looks like the best O-line signing in the league right now.
Yeah.
You got a guard, you got a high-level guard and a pretty good tackle in one body for 3 years, $51 million.
Top 5 right tackle.
And the Panthers gave Robert Hunt, Louisiana kid, not mad at it, 5 years, $100 million with $63 million guaranteed.
I didn't know who Robert Hunt was.
He only plays guard. Do you know why I know who Robert Hunt is?
Why is it?
Outside the fact he went to UL. Remember that play? It was like a Thursday night game. Remember that lineman who like caught the ball and like dove over backwards?
Miami?
That's Robert Hunt.
Oh, wow.
See?
And Miami offensive line was poop.
What? Exactly.
Oh,
and man. He got $63 million guaranteed for the Panthers. What are you doing? Now, the Panthers are trying. They signed him. They got a couple other linemen. They're giving effort.
But it's not a plan.
But it's no plan. You're just doing stuff. It's almost like they're calling agents And whatever agent calls them back, they're like, okay, let's negotiate.
You know what's crazy? Last year, I felt that they had more of a plan. I just don't think that
I
their
feel like the
players
plan was in
performed better
place.
because they had Frank Wright, they had Josh McCown as offensive coordinator, so you could see the coaching succession plan there. They had they was like, okay, we'll get rid of DJ Moore and we'll get rid of this however many first, and
We're
we'll
gonna
go
get
get
cheap.
Bryce Young. We're gonna go get our guy. So they had their guy. They went to go get him. Adam
They
Thielen,
got their
security
succession
blanket.
plan.
Who else they got? They got Hayden Hurst. They went to go
Then we
make
got
sure they
Hayden
get him.
Hurst. They kept Brian Burns. Like, okay,
It was like
we're gonna have to have a defense to protect them because we're not gonna
we
score a bunch of
got
points.
Miles Sanders. They threw a bag of Miles Sanders.
Miles
Got to have
Sanders,
a
we got
good
that
running
run
back.
game. Like it made
I think they
sense.
expected their offensive line to play better because remember they drafted offensive linemen like the past 2 years.
That is true.
So I think they just expected them to play better and they didn't. So that was a large part. So it made Bryce look bad. But then whenever you
It's not that
go
good.
to firing your coach, okay, now I fired my coach. I still didn't re-sign Brian Burns. Adam Thielen is like 40 finally kicked in for him. Tom Brady got a lot of these old heads paid.
Because it's like Brady pulled it off at 45. He's only 37.
Yeah, no, that's not your age. Your age, football 37 is like 57. Tom
You
Brady
60.
45 is different. Tom Brady is like a real human, and I don't know. He like
Tom Brady's like a computer program that's living life.
he just shaved like a tenth of a second off his 40 at like 47 years old.
47. Yeah, he's faster than he was at 22.
Yeah, no, he's different. He's not like y'all. So don't try to be like Tom Brady. Don't do what Tom Brady does.
It doesn't work.
So they don't have a plan. That's what I do like about the Patriots, though. Like even though it's very chicken and broccoli again, but it's a plan.
It's a plan.
Texans,
What I like about
the Texans, they have a plan.
they have a plan. We have rookie talent, contract talent everywhere. We're gonna pay for our holes. I mean, let's just be honest. Like
We went and then they retained their coaches after the
all
first
of
year.
them.
After having
All
success,
of
it was
them.
like, hey, we need to build some continuity up because now they have tape on us. Okay, so what do we do from here, right? And I just really shout out to Nick Casario, shout out to D'Amico Ryans, black head coach,
Facts.
former player coach putting on. So I think the Texans are going to be special. Another Black Sea team, the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, Kirk
Money bag
Chains.
Kirk.
Kirk Chains.
How does he do it?
He has to have pictures on everybody in the league.
Somebody says he's walking to those negotiations with a bomb.
With a ball strapped to his chest. He has to have pictures on everybody in the league.
The only person I know that got more run, they got almost as much run off of their one playoff game was two: Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield off of their playoff.
Because it's like, bro.
And even they followed them up with two this year, so it's like
at least they added to it after. Like,
yeah,
this man Kirk Cousins is going to be guaranteed $330 million in the league. He's won one playoff game.
But honestly, and I know I'm falling for the trap, I like Atlanta. I like him with Kirk. I know. Oh yeah, we want to go see Justin because he's black and he run around and blah 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 blah. We gotta stop just. I'm talking to your black audience. Yo, if you're a black football fan, stop just looking for a black quarterback to go there. He's not Michael Vick. The Michael Vick experience. All you children that was born in like 2008, like 2004, you weren't paying attention. Sorry,
you didn't see it.
You missed it. You missed the greatest thing.
It was great. It was amazing.
When you look at Michael Vick, he was like, wow, I didn't know people can move that fast.
Especially with a ball in their hands.
Literally. Hanging it like, he held it like this. Like
a loaf of bread or running through grown men trying to
he held it how you wasn't supposed to hold it. But
it never not worked.
And then he can still throw it. That's the crazy thing. Like
it's never going to happen again.
he's not as good as Lamar Jackson. But he's not as strong as Cam. But Michael Vick was just an iconic experience. It was like Allen Iverson. It was just like you had to be there for it. And as much as you try to recreate it, it's not going to work.
It's never going to be the same. And we get that in every city. Every city has their person where it's like, if you didn't see this when it went down, There's nothing you're ever gonna do. Like I feel bad for whoever the next quarterback is after Mahomes in Kansas City. Like there's nothing you're ever gonna do. Like this, you cannot do Lamar in Baltimore. There's nothing you're ever gonna do. Like you have to win a championship. Like no one cares about Joe Flacco in Baltimore, and he actually won a Super Bowl. Like no one cares. Like
Because you have to be an iconic. That Lamar MVP year was iconic.
it was insane.
It was
Like you were literally watching this going, we've only ever seen this one other time in history, and it was the Michael Vick experience.
yeah, because and even then it was just it's two different beasts. And Justin Fields, I was such a you made me look like such a fool. I'm gonna talk to you, Justin, because listen, man, I'm gonna talk to you, Justin, while I'm on the screen with Justin. Bro, I thought you was gonna be better than Trevor Lawrence.
You did.
I thought you was gonna be better than Mac Jones. Who the fuck is Zach Wilson? I didn't know who he was at the time. And seriously, who really was the fuck was Trey Lance? Trey Lance.
Who was that guy?
Nobody knew who Trey Lance was until like 2 weeks before the draft.
Dude played like one game in a year and a half.
So, Justin, I thought you was gonna be a Jet because everybody was on Trevor Lawrence's nuts. I thought you was gonna be a Jet. And you go to the Jets, like, oh man, you about to be a Niner. Shit, you didn't go to the Niners. Oh man, you about to be a Falcon at 4. Okay, they take Kyle Pitts, who at the time was supposed to be like Gronk, but
At the time, supposed to be what Brock Bowers is now, but black.
yeah. All right, so they ain't take you. I knew you weren't going to the Bengals because you know Big Burr. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going there.
So then you fall a little bit down. Oh, the Panthers definitely
Gotta go to the Panthers. Gotta go there.
Gotta go to the Panthers, right? Nah. The Broncos, you know, they've been looking for somebody since Peyton. Nah, we'll take a corner. Hey, PS2, he a dog.
I was gonna say, can't get mad at PS2.
Then after that, it was just kind of like, well, they don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. Thought you might fall to my Patriots. That would have been great.
That'd have been great.
The Bears
we
jump
drafted
on
McCorkle.
go to the Bears. We were never gonna draft Justin Fields. Because I just found out that Bill Belichick didn't even go to a single Ohio State game or pro day week.
Never been there.
He was never gonna be a Patriot, my boy. I'm sorry. And I was like, man, I was like, we got all this talent. You're big. You can run fast. I watched you at Ohio State.
I did too.
You look like the best quarterback in the college.
That damn throw against Clemson. That post
Until Mac
route.
Jones got a hold of you in a championship game. You look like the best quarterback in college. I ain't gonna
That
lie.
damn post route against Clemson in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that throw was so beautiful.
And then he just ran the wrong route. Why did he stop running? Whoever that was, why did they stop running?
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about with like the touchdown. Maybe threw that post like over the safety.
Oh yeah.
That shit was amazing.
Right. Justin Fields, you were supposed to change Ohio State quarterbacks. And then we gave you grace because the offensive line was horrible. And what's his name? Matt Nagy. Didn't know
he had Nagy.
Colin Cowherd told us about you though, Justin. He tried to tell us, and I thought he was just supporting Matt Nagy, but he tried to tell us that you wasn't that good. I didn't want to believe him.
And boy, did you prove us right.
Then you had the second coach. I don't even know that nigga name. He got fired.
Eberflus?
No, the one before him. He was the third.
I forgot about that. Who was the guy before Eberflus? Oh, fuck. Man, he doesn't matter.
Then it's just kind of like, you just do okay here. But we still have questions. You won 11 games in 3 years, my guy.
Yeah.
It's
I
tough.
can't even. I don't. Yeah. Think about it. The NFL is designed for you to go 8-8. Like the schedule, everything in NFL design. Roger Goodell's wet dream is that the whole league goes 8-8. It's designed that way. Ultimate parity.
Well, 8-8, 9-8 now.
Well, 9-8, 8-9. That's like his wet dream is to go 500.
Right.
He's managed to not do that in 30. Shit, I think 36. He played 16, 32 plus 17, 49, 50 odd games. He's won 11. And it wasn't like he was like didn't play the rookie year like some people. Like, no, it's him. He's like 11-30 or something like that. Like it's not like there's just I don't care how bad
even they have like a peak and a drop off. Is that you and then you get hot with like 3 or 4 like good running games, and they'll be
And you'd
like,
be like,
"Oh,
all
bro,
right, turn in the corner. I see it.
fantasy football has ruined our perception of who's good and who isn't good because Justin Fields will have like 50 fantasy points and they'll lose, but then they'll be like, he's good.
He
And it's
played
like,
well.
bro.
It's like, nah, he threw for 125 yards. He's happened to also run for 125 yards.
I remember they had one game he ran for like 114 and threw for like 36. Now it's just like, come on, what are we doing here, dog?
Like, bro,
So Justin Fields, I hope you find somewhere you land on your feet. I need you to go sit behind somebody. I want to see him go to Seattle. I think sitting behind Gino would be good for him.
I wouldn't mind seeing him. Well, no, then never mind. I just realized what they did. All right. So before we move on from Justin Fields, I had to Google it because I wanted to make sure I was accurate in my assessment before I said this.
Man, you need a research team or something.
I do need a research team or something because you guys suck. All right.
LOL.
Justin Fields' career high in passing yards came last season. Guess how many it was? In 3 years, mind you.
He just cracked 3,000.
His career high in passing yards last season was 2,562.
Hell nah.
I'm looking at it right now.
To be fair, Lamar Jackson be hovering around like 2,800. But Lamar Jackson also didn't have a DJ Moore. So, and DJ Moore had his career high in receiving yards. So
Justin Fields actually had his best passing year last year. He had the highest squeeze percentage, his highest yards, his highest touchdown interception ratio, his second amount of sacks, his highest passer rating. His not his highest QBR, but he had his best passer rating. It's growth. The problem is you started in the dumpster and made it to the toilet. So it's like
the problem is we might be able to get a guy that can come in at the very least, at the very worst, is going to be where you're at right now.
Exactly. I can draft the guy if right
and
now.
Then it's not even like they got like 3 like us or like
they
4.
have one.
They have one. That means that they get the pick. They control
whoever they want.
So
if you tell the Bears right now, Caleb Williams comes in, he has 61% completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 9 picks. They go, thank you very much for a great rookie year. Like,
because I know I have 4 more years for you to get better.
And that's what Justin Fields did in year 3.
With DJ Moore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, DJ Moore, an offense that was literally catered to you outside of your, that was your second most rushing attempts. Like, what else do you want them to do?
You know, the line was a lot better.
A hell of a lot better.
A lot better.
Because they were saying I know PFF was doing a great. It was like he ran into like half his sacks. Or held the ball longer than 4 seconds on half his sacks. Like the line can't do more than that.
He really didn't pick it up until like about like week 6. Because a lot of his struggles, the first couple of weeks, he was holding on to the ball. Remember, he said he didn't know the plays.
Yeah, he was just trying to learn the offense. He was waiting on stuff to pop open instead of anticipating and all kind of stuff. It's just a mess. It's time to move on. Right?
It's time to move on. Go get a fresh start somewhere. I think, like I said earlier, I think the Raiders should have him. Shout out to the Falcons. They got Kirk. I think Kirk is good for those young receivers because he's an older guy. He's a stabilizing force.
He's accurate.
Justin Jefferson loved Kirk Cousins.
Loves Kirk Cousins.
That's going to be a situation to monitor because
by the time down $30 million a year.
By the time this is released, he might be somewhere else.
Like, he turned down $30 million a year.
Which nobody was making 30. I think Tyreek was close.
I think Devontae went over when he signed his big deal with the Raiders. But
no, Devontae was at 27.
27, because, I remember he blew the market up because wasn't nobody over 20 at first.
Yeah.
And he went to 27.
Calvin really, future Patriot, hopefully. Man, let's just get into it, man, because we've been teasing it. What's really going on here, man? So it's our first offseason with head coach Mayo, first black coach in the New England Patriots, youngest head coach in the league, and we got Elliott Wolf, who comes from like the Packers or whatever. I don't know, but the Wolf Pack, We've made a couple of moves, some good re-signings, man. We got Owenu back. If we didn't re-sign anybody else, we needed Owenu back.
You needed Owenu back.
He was literally our best player last year. He can play guard, he can play tackle. Play him at right tackle. Don't do the bullshit. if you sign Jonah Williams, Tyron Smith, that's great. Play them at left tackle. If you draft a young tackle, let him sit behind Michael Windu. Play Michael Windu at right tackle. Don't do that bullshit and wait like 5 games to where
And then put him at tackle as you playing
somebody
guard.
gets beats the fuck. Yeah, somebody gets beats the hell. Put him at tackle. Uh, I like the young guys like Mafi and I like City, so let them play guards. I'm cool off Cole Strange altogether because he's just too small.
Yeah, he's just little.
He's
He's
just
just
too
little.
small to play guard.
I want to take a snap.
Yeah, but the additions we got Jacoby Brissett is back.
Jacoby sets back. It's like his third time on the team.
Second.
I honestly hope he didn't sell his house from the last time. He wasn't gone long enough to like his house to sell now.
Nah, he got traded his sophomore season for Philip Dorsett.
That was
Remember we drafted him. We drafted him. I just saw it in the dynasty. We drafted him the Deflategate year.
Yeah. That's when Bill started drafting random quarterbacks to be like trying to push time up.
Yeah. But then Jimmy got hurt after like that second game, and then Jacoby Brissett came in, and he had like a 3 touchdown game.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett showed major flashes. That's the reason why he got traded. And
Right.
people started calling for him like that next offseason.
I remember last year he had like a 2-year, $20 million deal from the Commanders.
Yeah, he had
Like
a good stretch.
he's a commodity.
And then he got injured with the Commanders because he never started. Remember he got hurt like right before he was supposed to start.
Yeah, and then last year they wanted to let Sam Howell try to get some run.
And just whatever happens.
Which I don't think they expected to be that bad because I don't think a quarterback was in their plans either originally.
I think they were going to use Howell and then probably trade down and just build around them.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So the Patriots have been doing some slick moves. Nothing's knocked your socks off. I mean, if you know football, you know when it was good because of value. Because like I said, we paid a Winu 51 total for guard and tackle, and Robert Hunt got $100 million for just guard.
Right.
So it's been slick moves. It's nothing to bust our cap, which leaves me hopeful that a Calvin Ridley or somebody that's coming.
Well, see what the rumor is, and I saw this random thing on Twitter. So this guy, shout out to you at Patriots Insider, or like it's like Red Patriot Insider, something like that.
Yeah,
some random Twitter account. It's not verified by any source, but this dude says that he has a source and said that the deal on the table is a 4-year, $74 million deal for Calvin Ridley. I think that's a little steep for Calvin Ridley, but we're in a position where we got to overpay guys, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we have manipulated our cap enough to where I think that we'll go ahead and absorb a big salary too, because I think that T. Higgins is in play. I think Michael Williams is in play.
Yeah.
Which I kind of know how I feel about that. He get injured a lot, but
Mike Williams,
he's like a better Devontae Parker.
I do it for not a lot of guarantee money. If he's looking for big guarantees, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where he'll sign like a 4-year deal that on paper is like 70, but it's got like $15 million in guarantees.
I like Ridley if he comes in as the number one, but I think whoever we bring in, that's gonna help me narrow down which receiver we should draft, because we still need to draft a receiver because Kendrick Bourne can't be number 2. Pop Douglas, he's still developmental.
I'm curious about him this year.
Juju gotta go.
Yeah, I don't want Juju on my football team.
Juju
I'm curious about Pop Douglas this year, mainly because he has a real OC now. And I'm not saying Bill O'Brien wasn't a real OC, but Bill O'Brien obviously.
Bill O'Brien was coaching with his hands behind his back because he couldn't pick his staff.
He couldn't even pick his own staff. So it's like, how much time and development was Bill O'Brien investing in him when I can't pick my own staff? Like, that's probably Bill O'Brien took the job, honestly. But he hated college ball, so a different conversation. But he had a big OC in college ball, I should say. But yeah, like Pop Douglas with an OC that's going to develop him. Alex Van Pelt's a quarterback developer usually. But he also knows the development of offenses. You saw Cleveland got better.
Some of the stuff that they was doing, some of the stuff they was doing with what's the guy's name?
Cooper?
No, Elijah Moore.
Moore, yeah.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. They would have him out the backfield and doing like fake toss and stuff like that. And I think Pop Douglas is that kind of player in space that you want to get to. You know, he's not like a Jacoby Myers type slide or even like a Julian Edelman. He's like a mix between like a Shane Vereen, Wes Walker type. You know,
It's a person you want to get in the space with the ball in their hands, and then see where it goes from there.
exactly. And so I think he was also the best route runner too. He was the only one to give real separation. So I think he's going to be a very integral piece. Calvin Ridley, I see he can. Calvin Ridley and Kendrick Bourne, I think they're kind of redundant, which is why I think like Calvin Ridley's better than Kendrick Bourne, and I think he'll be a great addition. But then you gotta go get like an X. You gotta go get a big guy. You gotta go get a Keon Coleman, a Troy Franklin. You know, if we get Drake May, I want Tez Walker. I love just pairing college
and that is your thing, pairing receivers and quarterbacks from the same school together.
it just make fucking sense. Like
it does. I mean, the only people that went out of their way to do it is Chase and Burrow. Yeah, that's ripping the league apart.
They look like they're trying to get.
They ain't trying to do something with Jefferson.
Right.
If they got Chase, Jefferson, and Burrow, son, that's ridiculous.
Right. But I mean, like even like with Tua and Waddle, Devontae and
Jalen. Yeah.
You know, so like it just is less chemistry that you have to develop in there. So but it's a lot of good receivers in the draft. In terms of trades that you would want to see us make, I thought that we would go get a defender. Too. I wanted us to be in on L'Jarius Sneed just a little bit.
I would have loved for us to have, and what they end up getting, we didn't have. But the Dante Jackson from Carolina, the corner.
He too slight.
But not for an outside corner, for a slot guy. The reason why is how I think they're gonna play is a lot of CYA, which is cover your ass defense, and so the more speed, the better.
True.
And we just lost Jalen Mills. Maybe could have played safety. I mean, I felt like it would have been a cheap get.
Losing Jack Jones hurt a lot of what that cornerback room had potential to be.
Yes, Christian Gonzalez and
I
the rest
think
of that crew.
And I think if he didn't go to the Raiders, I think he would have had a chance to come back post Bill. But I think the fact that him and Pierce have that connection, that he probably wouldn't leave, and then he's from the West Coast, so it makes sense for him to want to be out there.
Yeah,
but
and then the Raiders culture is very player friendly.
Right, but I want to kick John Jones back inside in the slot.
Kind of gonna have to.
And so I think we need a bigger corner, and that's just something I wouldn't want to get in the draft. A name I heard floating around was Gilmore coming back. And him as a 3, right at this age is good.
Yeah.
He's like a second boundary corner. Like if you come out in base, you will probably want to have Gonzo and then John Jones. But then like whenever you go into like dime and nickel packages, you can kick him out, kick John Jones inside. Anything to see less of Miles Brown on the field, I'm happy.
Oh, that Miles Brown beef will never die.
He's not good. And he my size, so if he ever try to say something, like we can hit about it. Like
But Marshawn Lattimore, I've heard that floating around too.
I wouldn't mind that. The only thing I don't want to do is give up draft capital.
And that's what it's going to take from New Orleans, because New Orleans is.
I would give up something for next year, or I give up a 5.
New Orleans invents ways to circumvent the cap. Whatever.
I'll give up a 5 if we absorb his whole salary, like kind of like how they did with Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. Basically paying you to eat the salary.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, yeah, like I heard Lattimore floating around, but I don't know. It's one of those situations where it came out, local New Orleans guys are refuting it. But it is on the table, right? So we just got to get another corner. Obviously, got to figure out what we're doing at quarterback. I would love another receiver. I think it's going to be Ridley. And I think Jacksonville prepared for Ridley's exit by getting Gabe Davis.
They got Gabe Davis and Duvernay. They still have Duvernay Jones.
And it's
a deep receiver class.
And they still got Evan Ingram at tight end.
They do.
So it's not like they're hurting at weaponry. So I think if he gets like I said, 4 years, basically $19 million a year from the Patriots, And then he goes to them like, "Hey, match it." They're gonna be like, "Have a great life."
How
Hope
do you feel
you.
about Amari Cooper? They just
He
recently brought in Jerry Judy. Amari
he
Cooper
looks
has
good in the Alex Van Pelt offense last year.
he has like what 2 years on his deal.
I think
He's
somewhere
29.
he'd be a good veteran receiver. He knows how to work. Amari Cooper's never been a receiver who slandered his work, right? So, and he was just with Van Pelt last season. So if anybody knows the offense and how Van Pelt wants routes run and stuff like that, it would be Amari Cooper.
Yeah, yeah. I can see the plan. I listen to a lot of Boston sports media, and they're just so fucking annoying. They complain about everything all season. They was complaining about half of them was complaining about Belichick, the other half was complaining about Mac Jones. Belichick and Mac Jones are gone, and now they both still complaining. I heard somebody they was just like, "Oh, you signed Jacoby Brissett. Well, you could just kept Mac Jones." No, it's different. You wanted him gone, he's gone. Oh, if you're gonna do this with the third pick, oh, see all the Bill guys that you're keeping. Well, I thought Bill Belichick was the worst GM ever. Yeah, we ain't bring nobody in on offense that Bill drafted except for
I about
Odell.
to I about to say no one is back on offense from Bill. Everybody's back on defense.
We got Josh Uche and yeah.
Yeah, they got Uche and Nwenu pretty much is the Bill guys to the back, but Gasecki's gone. Like a lot of the guys that Bill just grabbed.
Devontae Parker got cut,
Devontae Parker's gone. Like
and Juju's actively trying to get. They're trying to get
actively
rid.
trying to trade him. Like
Yeah, so it's like Mac is gone, Bill guy. Zappy might hang around because
that was Zappa had liking tweets.
yeah, no, Zappy is crazy. I love his confidence.
My dude liked the
If
tweet.
only it
His company
translated
got
onto
traded.
the field, but I love his
Because
confidence.
boy, if it turned that onto the field, we'd have a legend.
Yeah, but no, I see the plan. I think that this is going to be a slow rebuild. I think that we're going to be. I think the goal for us this year should be to play competent football instead of silly ass football. Because for
Yeah,
the
that's
past two
terrible.
years, it just looked ridiculous. It looked bad. Some of the shit that was going on. If you look at some of the Mac Jones picks or the Las Vegas lateral, or
I was thinking in my head, I'm like, we really lost the game by pitching the ball for no reason to the wrong team.
remember we played the Arizona game and we broke the record for screens.
Oh yeah, we had like 19 screens in one game.
Like all this silly ass football. Like I'm sorry, like I'm just tired of looking at it. Last year, Bailey Zappi threw 2 picks in the same drive. He threw a pick, they fumbled it, recovered it. They
He
called the
threw
play. He
another pick.
threw a pick right after.
Like we were inventing ways to look incompetent.
Mac Jones threw a 10-yard duck,
Mac Jones threw a duck on a screen pass.
and then Bailey Zappi comes in to relieve him with 2 minutes left in the game. Does a fake spike and throws it into 3 people. What are we doing? So I want to get back to okay. Whenever we play these games, we look like an NFL football team.
We just aren't talented enough yet.
If we aren't talented enough, that's fine. Because I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna slow up the rebuild. And everybody on Gerard Mayo asked because he said we're gonna burn some cash. Well, guess what, bro? That was burning cash because all of the good players that was available was pretty much on our team. Like, who was a better tight end than Hunter Henry out there? Nobody.
Nobody.
Who was a better
Gerald Everett just got signed.
right? So who was a better offensive lineman out there? Tyron Smith is
Truly,
the only one.
Tyron Smith, yeah.
And he's not signed yet. So we didn't miss out on nobody that we actually needed. Oh, well, you could have grabbed Saquon for fucking what?
For what? What do you want Saquon for? What do you want Saquon for?
Oh, well, maybe we should have just threw $100 million at Baker Mayfield. Why do people act
Why?
like Baker Mayfield gets good receivers, plays good for a year? People act like that we didn't see all the other years of Baker Mayfield not being good.
There's a reason he's on his 13.
Baker Mayfield, fourth.
14, that's right. There's a reason he was the number one pick in the draft. And before his rookie contract was over, he was on his 13. Like, there's a reason for that, right? Like, Zach Wilson's on the same career trajectory.
Like, none of these goofballs ever thought that it was like, maybe Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer, maybe they're good players.
Maybe they'll get my help.
Kate Auden.
The top 7 offensive line. Like, maybe those things assist.
Maybe that helps. It's a reason why he stayed in Tampa. Like,
quickly.
Yeah, like, no, what do you look like mortgaging 100? You got all this cap space and you want to guarantee what 30-something. You want to go ahead and just give $30 million to Baker Mayfield for this year out of it? No, that's ridiculous.
No, that's insane.
That's silly. We have to be comfortable to not be good right now. Even though I think, depending on the receiver that we get, I think that we can pop out 7 wins. That could be a ceiling.
And 7-10 is a very acceptable season.
I think 7 can be a ceiling. I just want us to get past 4 wins because it's gonna be hard for me to be a Patriots fan because I know the Gerard Mayo slurs is gonna come out if we lose. If we lose, if we only win 3 games next year.
Oh my God! I hope he never listens to the radio in Boston.
Oh, he has to go on there
because we're gonna lose a game to like the Jets, like 13-10, and it is gonna be the most borderline, like it's gonna be racist with like sweet undertones.
Bill's
like,
last loss was to the Jets. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I get it, but no one cares because Bill's not black. So. I hope his kids never listen to the radio like ever in life.
And he's such a nice guy, and everybody's
such a nice guy.
He's such a nice guy, and I think that's gonna change. I think that Boston medium is gonna beat the hell out of him with that. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, he's gonna harden up.
He's gonna have to.
Belichick wasn't that much of an a-hole when he first got to Boston.
We saw. Well, I don't know if you're watching the Dynasty. You should. It's great, but I think Apple TV doing like a little 3-month trial, some shit. You should look into it.
But, no. I mean, I haven't. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no. Like it's pretty good. A couple of episodes is dumb, but the first couple of episodes you see Bill Belichick around like the Drew Bledsoe years. He was cracking a joke. It wasn't snarky.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was actually had personality in 20 years in Boston. Like
they complain about everything, dog.
Nothing's good enough.
You have to understand that you're not good enough. So whenever you're 4 wins, which really is closer to 2, if we're being honest, it took Chad Ryland super kick and Zach Wilson almost beat us off a Hail Mary.
Zach Wilson got very close.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So God, we couldn't see.
I wouldn't say the season was over that time because that would have been our 3rd straight loss, and I'm like,
all right, let's go wrap this up.
yeah. But so we lost those. But I think at that point we should just look for competence. And I think that's what we're doing. I think Elliott Wolf is setting the standard. Say, hey, we're not about to just throw money at names because you can't build like that. You can't build a good team like that. You have to hit on your draft picks. You want to know why wasn't that many receivers out there? Because all the good ones, they got tagged or extended.
I mean, football is the only sport where it's 11 on 11, right? I mean, there's soccer. I mean, soccer is technically 11 on 11, but football, you need 22 individuals to do their job. You got offense and defense, and the league got special teams.
Right.
It's not basketball. I can just pay for the best 3 players, and I'm pretty sure I can go in. Right?
If you had Saquon Barkley, think he was gonna do line up and slide all day?
Like I can pay for the best 3 football players and go 3-14 very easily because everybody else sucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where we're spending our money wisely. We're not being dumb. It's no splashes, to be honest with you, but I didn't expect it. I expected a Calvin Ridley or a T. Higgins, but other than that, like that was it. Like Pittman was kind of a pipe dream, but I figured Indy wouldn't let him go. You know what I'm saying?
I thought Pittman was kind of on the low end. I had a feeling they wouldn't let him go, just because you got a rookie quarterback too.
You need as many weapons around him as possible.
Exactly. So I had a feeling they wouldn't let him go, and but Ridley or Higgins, Ayuk. That news is coming up, so that's interesting. Because eventually they're gonna have to start paying some people.
They have to.
They've been skating by a lot by putting these randos at quarterback. And I ain't gonna lie.
John Lynch low-key a bad GM. He's been getting lucky.
Low-key.
Like I'm gonna put that on Front Street, dog. Like John Lynch is John Lynch is Brock Purdy truly being bad away from being slandered endlessly. He used his 3rd overall pick with a really, really good team and drafted a person that played 1 game of football in a year and a half.
Yeah, it was a bad decision.
That's horrible. Like
Why you do? And then you do that while the Rams said, "Huh, I'm gonna take my like 20 or something overall pick
Just
and
get
just go get Matt
Go
Stafford."
get Matt Stafford. Yeah, like let's make it easy.
They could. They, you know what though? I think before they did the Trey Lance trade, I think they really wanted Kirk Cousins.
I
Nick Wright
mean,
said this a lot, and I'm starting to believe it. I think that the Niners they really wanted Kirk Cousins.
they always they have the Tom Brady rhetoric going on with the hype. Brady was gonna be a Niner had he said yes.
That's not true.
Um, yeah,
Not
we
true.
know, we all know. Um, but we can end this conversation, or at least this section of the conversation, with this. At least we're not the Cowboys. The Cowboys, the only thing they've done at free agency was re-sign their long snapper. At least we're not them.
Are we sure Bill Belichick don't have a job with the Cowboys? Because
He might, because
that's a very that's very Belichickian right there.
they re-signed their long snapper. Like it was breaking news. Like it was like came across multiple things. I was like, re-signed the long, like that's it.
All right, yeah.
You got
Well,
Skip Bayless tweeting out curse words. Cowboys are in shambles.
nah, the Cowboys is chumps. But we're not undisputed. We're Jack disputed. So we're gonna wrap this up with some NBA talk. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really. I don't know what's been up about for me this year with the NBA season. It just hasn't hit the same like the NFL season has. I don't know why, but I just haven't been that
I
invested in the basketball.
but I can tell you, if you give me some leeway, I can tell you on this one. We did this to ourselves. Not us. Not us. Talking about me and you. People in general. We did this to ourselves. The minute the argument of how great you are became count the rings, the months of September to April don't matter.
That's facts. That's facts.
Luka Doncic is currently having 7 straight 20-point triple doubles. It's only been done by 2 other people in the history of basketball. Do you know what I saw on Twitter all day this morning? He was stat padding trying to break the record for 30-point straight triple doubles. No one cared about the actual history. They were slandering him for trying to get the history.
He was step betting.
He was stat padding. I agree. He was trying.
Well,
He was
everybody step
trying.
betting.
Russell Westbrook got slandered for getting rebounds.
Yeah.
When showing effort's a problem? Like you know how hard it is to rebound? Like a lot of them. Like rebounds, like you can almost look up into assists. Like you do a pass and dude just shoot it and makes it.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think that's gonna change whenever your boy retire. Whenever LeBron James retire,
I agree.
because I feel
I
like
think
it's not his fault. But I think whenever people started pitting him directly against Michael Jordan, I think
it, it
that's what
broke
led
down
to
to the
this.
accomplishments, not what you did
Because
in the middle. Never.
now it's damn. Bro, whenever JJ Redick and fucking Shannon Sharp, they was arguing about the Lakers. Like it was a stupid ass first take question, and it's like not calling first take stupid, but they be asking stupid ass questions sometimes.
No. They have purposely
Chill,
leading questions.
chill. Stephen A. Smith likes to reach in with the black youth. Chill. Don't fuck up the bag. But but no. Like sometimes the producers be asking stupid ass questions, and it's like JJ Redick he's not too smart for the cast. He's too smart for the show.
He's too smart for the average NBA fan. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but like because the show caters to just the casual
Fan.
and I think he's too smart for that. So him and Shannon got into it about the question was, are the Lakers true contenders? After they just lost the Nuggets or some shit like that. Lakers are the fucking 10th seed or the 9th seed or whatever, right? We're not gonna say that about anybody else if they're a contender. But
I don't even know who the
LeBron
ninth
James
seed in the East
playoff
is.
discourse has got it in there, right? And then the same how Shannon was getting mad saying that like, oh, we don't talk about it, blah blah blah, LeBron, right? Whatever. That's all I hear whenever that nigga talks sometimes about basketball, right? You would hear him, you would hear Kendrick Perkins, or hell, even you talk about the Clippers. This is Kawhi Leonard's. This is the most games Kawhi Leonard has played in like 4 years, dog.
And no one cares.
And no one cares because they're just gonna say Clippers go Clipper in the playoffs.
To be honest, I mean, it's not the same.
Basketball feels boring. It feels cheap.
It's not on the same scale. I'm a Pelicans fan. Zion's played 61 games this year. No one cares. This is literally the most games Zion's played since his second year in the NBA. No one cares. And actually got to the point where Stephen A. and the Pelicans got into a beef for like a week.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. But it was centered around the fact of like Zion has to be healthy to play. And everybody kept saying, like, dude, he's playing.
That
Like,
middle tier of players to where it's like you have the old legends that everybody's going to talk about, which is basically KD, Steph,
KD,
and
Steph, and
Bron,
Bron. Yeah.
right? Everybody's going to talk about. But then you have the rising young players, which I'm not going to lie, the NBA is going to be in great hands. You got Wemby,
Great hands.
you got Ant,
Paolo
you got
Banchero.
Halliburton. Paolo, he needs to be talked about more. Every time I see him play, he hooping. What's the other guy? Zion,
Yeah.
Shea. You know what I'm saying?
And don't forget about Morant. He's hurt right now, but Ja.
Yeah, he hurt. You know, Mr. Shoot 'em up bang bang, right? Nah, I'm kidding. John's actually a pretty cool dude.
And Mr. Rocky Hips.
I met him once. Shout out to his pops. Yeah,
shout out T.
It's cool dude. But nah. So like people kind of care about the young dudes, which I think they should get more coverage. But like that middle tier teams, like the Celtics are playing great, nobody cares. Clippers are playing great, nobody cares. The Nuggets, everybody just wants to find a reason to not like the Nuggets. Nobody cares. People talk about the Mavericks. People talk about the Mavericks, but I think that the Mavericks. I think that people are trying to push Luka as the face of the NBA, and he ain't got the aura. He got the game, but he ain't got the.
The Bucks are the second seed in the East. No one cares. The Bucks get slandered like they're like horrible.
Dame and Giannis play together, and no one
cares.
Nobody cares.
I've seen more Alperoon Sengun news than I have about.
Sabonis is making history, and nobody cares.
No one cares at all.
Because you want to know why? Because in everybody's heart of hearts, they don't have a chance to win a championship.
They don't. And so when you build a sport, it's the problem in college basketball has. You built the sport behind 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So like, all the stars are on the female side. Because you didn't just make their sport about the female tournament, but the women's tournament.
And then they play long.
They play 3-4 years. Like, what's her name at USC? Juju. Juju's gonna be at USC 3-4 years. So if I fall in love with her as a freshman, as a player, I'm not gonna lose her in 6 months. She's gonna be there 3-4 years.
You're gonna have a vested interest to see her succeed
and continue to play.
And I feel like the lack of team loyalty to people, because like we all had favorite players growing up, but then that favorite player will kind of bleed over to our favorite team. But then the minute that like the best player started jumping around, it's kind of like, well, you just follow the player. It's like, I don't know. It's just like a team loyalty. And I'm not about to sit here and be on like an old head soapbox because like shit, like even in 2000s, the Lakers, the Knicks, the Sixers, like, you know, the stable franchises, the popular franchise has been a popular franchise. You know what I'm saying? But like whenever somebody was turning up, whenever Paul George was in Indiana, he was turning up. They talked about Indiana a lot.
Man, Paul George, Roy Hibbert, David West, George Hill, like
breaking down Lance Stephenson. Yeah, they talked about that a lot. Whenever Steve Nash was in Phoenix, they talked about that a lot.
Yeah, it's gotten so ring heavy, man. Like
if you definitively cannot win a ring, and you know what's crazy? We've actually had a lot of championship parity in the last few years.
People cycle through and out. Like Giannis only has one still.
Giannis only has one.
You've been talking like you're gonna win. Like
Butler has went to the finals twice in 4 years.
Yeah, and it's like he happened to run against Jokic and LeBron. His fault. Like
and nobody talks about the Heat.
No one cares. Like it's so bad. Miami's playing bad, and most of the national discourse has been, but they'll turn up in the playoffs. Like you're just excusing. Let's be honest, bad basketball for a good majority of the year, saying if they get in, no one's gonna want to play the Heat. Like, yeah. Also, Giannis was hurt for half that series, and that's why they probably beat the Bucks. Like, it's just like, and no one cares. Like, you ruined, for lack of a better term, your own sport.
Yeah.
Because of the way you cover it.
And I think but here's the thing though, the way that it's covered, that'll never change because now instead of reporting,
oh God, it's Twitter.
But now instead of reporting, you have entertainers.
You have people, yeah, you have people that you have click media.
There aren't analysts anymore. You don't have analysts
Mm-mm.
anymore. You have personalities. You have report. You have people who bring you information, and then you have people that give you their opinion. But you don't have anybody that actually analyzes the game.
That actually breaks the game down. There's only, I mean, there's a couple of shows I keep my ear to that I learn a lot from. Like I learned a lot from Hoop Collective with Brian Windhorst. Like I learned a lot from them because they do a lot of cap stuff. They'll break down specific games. They have their opinion and stuff in there too. But I
NBA
did
today is supposed to do that, but they're very story centric
they're very
for the
story
most
centric.
part.
If
So
the
it's kind of
Celtics are
like,
hot, they're watching the Celtics. If the
yeah.
Lakers win 3 games in a row, all of a sudden there's the Lakers show. Like,
NFL Live is the perfect blueprint for if you
oh, it's
have a
beautiful.
show and you want to break down the sport, you need to follow the NFL Live model because of the people that they bring in, the people that they have analyzed. Every opinion on NFL Live is backed up with facts and film.
Like
Every
they
single time.
they can show you on tape what they're saying for this specific reason.
But what, no matter who's saying it.
No matter who's saying it, I have my tape to back up the fact that I said, "Oh, the cover 3 for the Jets has been working really well this year. Let me show it to you."
Right.
Whatever. Um, and I just think a lot of the NBA is covered. It's a ring business. It's an award business.
Right. That's
Like
why that's why the All-Star game felt lackluster. That's
their
why.
their contracts are set up that way. You literally get more money for winning awards. So it's like, like I have the right to pay you 10% more money because you played 67 games and made the All NBA third team. Like
That, that,
since
that that's something that we'll have to break into in like a full NBA episode. But yeah, just any playoff predictions. This is supposed to be about the playoffs, but fuck it, ooh, change the NBA rank.
hey, yeah,
Any early playoff predictions? Just give me your top four. Two from the East, two from the West.
man, it's like who would be in the Final Four?
Yeah,
In the conversation game, I should say. Um, I got Boston and Milwaukee in the East. I think they're better than everybody. Like it's in a situation where they're just better than people. It's not like I think. Cause I think Milwaukee's gonna get out coached a lot.
yeah. I don't see Milwaukee making it to the conference final.
But they have
Doctors,
Doc and but they have Damien Giannis. So like at a certain point, it's just when two of the five players on the court are Damien Giannis.
they have a very pivotal flaw against, and I think every team in the East can exploit it. They slow as shit.
Yeah, they can't guard the three. They can't guard the three, and everybody needs to hit threes.
Right.
Um,
And
so
so
that's something that I have to work on.
I got Boston and Miami again for the rematch, and I got Boston taking it. I know this on film. I'm a Miami Heat fan, blah 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 blah. Don't kill me, but I got Boston taking it this year. I think Jason Tatum is super locked in. Um, I haven't seen him play this good in a long time, really ever. And the numbers won't support it. He'll have a bad shooting night here or there, but just kind of like he's doing everything on the court.
right
And I think that's a championship mentality. Drew Holiday, the most underrated player ever.
ever.
Because what he brings to the team is phenomenal. And Porzingis killing shit. So and Boston, they can beat you in different ways. Joe Mazzulla don't get enough credit for being a good coach because I mean it's hard to follow after Ime Udoka because he was a great coach, but Joe Mazzulla is a pretty good coach, so he's shown up. So I got Boston and Milwaukee with Boston finally making it.
Drew Holiday is going to be that person that in 10 years you're going to be like, man, who was that person you hated to be guarded by? And like the whole league's going to universally say Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
He look like he'd be torturing people out there. Like, like it look like his days don't be fun.
he
It look
guards
like
like
when,
1 through 3.
it look like when Drew Holiday switch on you, just be like, all right, like all right, bro, chill. Like,
You got the West.
out west, Lord Jesus, the West is a mess. Like, it's a literal mess. I think the Nuggets are obviously in. Like, literally every time the Nuggets go, oh, it's a big game, we gotta win. All right, like, all right. Like, oh, we're playing the Lakers tonight. He said it's statue night. All right. I was one of the 2 times they're gonna play Boston. All right, like they just kind of like they get ready for big games. So I got the Nuggets, and then everything after that's matchup based.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Literally everything. Like, and I know I don't want to be that show, but the Lakers get skinny Oklahoma City, and then like New Orleans in round two, probably going to be in the West Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They just gotta deal with the play-in.
I'm a Pelicans fan. I I remember that playing tournament game or that in-season tournament game. They beat us by like 40. Like,
I got the other LA team in the Nuggets.
you got the Clippers.
Clip City, Chip City, because you know what I think?
I
This
think
is
that's
gonna be
true.
the first time that James Harden, since his OKC days, nobody's expecting you to play well.
That's true. You just have to literally be healthy.
You have to pass the ball. That's it. Because you know how Kawhi get in the playoffs. If he stays healthy, Lord, please let Kawhi stay healthy. He almost beat the Suns by himself that first game.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
because Kawhi did get hurt tonight. I was like, Kawhi only had 6 points. Yeah, he got hurt tonight.
He got hurt again.
With spasms, back spasms, nothing major.
Not a Ben Simmons approach. One day we gotta have Ben Simmons episode too.
Oh god, that's an episode.
But yeah, I got those two winning it. But yeah, man. That's pretty much it. Oh, and MVP Sports Week. I think we should do that. We're gonna do that once every episode. So what the MVP is just something that has to do related to sport. To quote Jalen Rose, there's a score in the game and a game of life. And these two people have won MVP depending on how you look at it.
Somebody won this week.
Dre Michelle and Jalen Green announced their pregnancy. Dre Michelle is like 38, 39.
Somewhere in there.
Jalen Green's 22.
Spry 22-year-old.
If you're a young man in the black community, you know who Dre Michelle is. If you was born between 98 and 2002, you know who Dre Michelle is. You know what she about. So you can't do nothing but salute Jalen Green. We're not at the show to get into whether or not that's cool, however you look at it.
Yeah, we're not here to judge.
You know,
I have my own
thoughts. I have my own thoughts of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. If this is just because she has a son his age, like if any of my parents came back and told me that they was having a baby with one of my
kids somebody's age, I forgot about that.
If any of my parents came back and told me they was like they having a baby with somebody I went to high school with, I would have a problem with it.
I gotta box you.
But
if
I had Jalen Green money, I would be such a hypocrite. The women I get pregnant, boy.
Here's the thing.
Look. Whose DM are you sliding in? If you got Jalen Green money, your childhood crush, and let's say you're unmarried this time, whose DM are you sliding in first?
Oh God, I don't even know. It's gonna be somebody in her field of work. That's for sure.
170 mil. Her field of work is athletes. You got 170 mil, bro. Who you?
Oh, he says, "Gotta be somebody."
Yeah, Tyler. It could be somebody. I got a guess for you.
Okay. I'm curious what the guess is.
Chloe Bailey.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. I might break my phone sending that DM. But no, yeah, 10,000%. But here's the thing: I'm not, like you said, this isn't the show to go on like, oh, the age gap, and I don't care about none of that. It's irrelevant.
Once you play with a certain amount of money, you play with different rules.
So you play in a different game. You play in a different game. He has 170 million reasons why he's in a different game.
He's in a different game.
The rules up there don't apply to rules down here.
It don't.
Like you said, if I had $170 million, I'd live life a little different. Like
I'm just start I just sent a couple. Oh man,
like
I like mine a little bit seasoned. Like I hit up Eve. I'd be like cash out, just like question mark.
I'd be like, look, bro, like I'm the kind of person if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't tell nobody, but you'd know. Like there'd be definite signs of what's going on.
When you see me
Like,
at Wimbledon with like Jessica Alba, you just be like,
signs.
you know, like,
Like,
like what you doing today? Oh, chilling.
where you at? The Aussie Open? Sorry?
Yeah, no, because like I thought it was definitely a little disturbing when I found out she had a son his age,
That was
but
weird. That was a little
but
weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a little
like I told y'all in like our little group chat, yeah, no, I'll be such a hypocrite. I'll be such a hypocrite.
But I respect
I
it
ain't
though,
gonna lie.
right? Like the thing I don't like about the reaction to it was that a lot of times it's people that can never play in that game,
That
right?
is facts.
Like you can't play in that world. That world don't exist to you.
A lot of y'all that say that they would never, you won't have the opportunity to,
Get $170 million
because
in access. Like you're going to.
and,
Like
and look, I heard a lot of women say that like, what do you even have in common with a 20-some-year-old shorty? The 20-some-year-old millionaire is not looking at you.
he's not. The
It's just a
dude that
fact.
has $200 million at 22 don't care that you exist.
He's not looking at you. He's looking at the ones that put themselves in that position. Like you said, her field of work. I only know this woman for
Being with
for being
athletes.
fine and being with athletes. Like
That's what she does. Like, it's the
that's her
game she
career.
plays. Like
That's the
that's what
game you
she
play. You
did.
gotta invest in yourself.
That's the game. And
You
hey,
gotta
like she
invest in
won.
yourself.
It
And
looks
she
like she.
won.
It looked like she won, bro. Like
She she hit the
so.
lottery. And then he young too, so she gonna have him for a minute.
Have a hot minute. Like bro just started his fun max. He got a whole other max contract at least in his system.
I don't
Like
know because I don't even know how good at basketball he is. The only time I hear about Jalen Green was whenever
he
he
just be
had
dunking.
no, he was it's either him dunking or whenever he was like humping his teammate.
Yeah,
Now
that
he's
was.
knocking up Dre Michelle. So like this is I never
I,
hear about him be like, wow, Jalen Green's averaging like 25 or no, like I never hear basketball.
to be honest, I have no idea what his stats are. Like, and I mean that with the utmost, like, soul sincerity. I have
Dang, then
no
that
idea what
boy
he
in
does.
Houston too. You know how much work she really had to put in
Yo, she had to like block him off from all of the access.
in Houston. Oh man,
Boy, you know what James Harden got to in Houston.
facts.
So the fact that she was able to lock that up, look at her. She's
Well,
doing something. She's doing something.
this is
He's averaging 18. Just to let you know,
18.
18, 5, and 3 on 41% shooting.
She might be regretting that.
He still signed his fund max already.
But he did.
I believe so.
No, he didn't. He the same. This is second year.
This is year 2.
Yeah, she might be regretting it.
He's
I don't
gonna
know, bro,
get
because the
this.
Houston Texans
No, it's
looking
year
good.
3.
Because I don't know, bro. He the same age as Cade, so whatever that is.
But I'm saying he's in year 3, and he already got an all rookie, so he should have get his fund max.
I don't know. So she'll regret it because CJ Stroud right up the street.
Boy, she
The Texans
missed that
look.
one.
The Texans looking promising.
He's gonna get his max.
He gonna get his for sure. But all right, y'all. This has been the first installment of J-Town Sports After Dark. You know what I'm saying? I'll be popping in every now and again as a guest. We got some other fun, nice rotations, but this is just the second piece of content from the JTS and IMS partnership. You know what I'm saying? The collective. So, this will be out in a few days. I'm sure some of the stuff that we talked about will be answered, but hey, we're going to have fun with it. Yeah, you got any questions, comments, concerns, topic, whatever, DM J Time Sports.
DM or tag. I see it all.
You going to watch it on the YouTube channel, J Time Sports. Produced and directed by IMS Productions. We're Introspective Media Solutions. We're bringing your vision to life. Yeah. Anything else to sign us out, Captain JT?
Again, follow on all social media at JTime Sports. See the hand at the bottom of the screen. Our amazing production team. So that's put on the screen. The audio show will be out Thursday. So this may, we don't know what kind of situation goes on, but the audio show will be out weekly on Thursdays. So you guys can anticipate that. And the video show will come out once a weekish.
First
they
game,
don't have.
worst game. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
once a weekish.
Yeah,
We'll get the
we're
schedule.
very loosey goosey with this.
But I definitely update you guys on the schedule of the video show whenever I find out where we get that more locked in, of course. But yeah, wonderful show. Glad you guys spent hour and 40 minutes with us.
Facts.
So I'm glad you guys spent that time with us. Keep coming back, man. Keep following. Follow at IMS Production 2023 on social media for all of your production needs. And of course, at JTime Sports for all your sports news and media. My thumbs hurt from NFL free agency. I almost caught a thumb cramp a couple times.
Yeah, he's been getting to it.
But so I appreciate all you guys for the follows. Shout out all my Northeast friends, fans. You guys kind of caught us straight today.
Y'all did. Hey, Pats fans, man, we in this together.
Yeah,
okay?
we feel it. We
feel it. We just as frustrated, but we have an optimistic view. We in it. Guess we signing out. To all the those who celebrate, all the people of Islam, those who celebrate, have a blessed Ramadan. Thanks. And we're out.
All right.